Hi, my name is Tiffany Velios, and I'm here at the Langley Event Center. My position at the Langley Event Center is the event coordinator. So basically, the name speaks for itself. I coordinate all the events here at the Langley Event Center that take place in our banquet hall and any of our meeting rooms. Some of my three main duties are to get some kids programs going. So one of my main duties this summer was to initiate some high-performance sports camps. So seeing as how we are partners with the Thunder lacrosse team, we took that opportunity to pair up with the Thunder team and offer some summer lacrosse camps. So this summer we offered 4 weeks of lacrosse camps for ages 6 to 12, a morning session and an afternoon session. One of my other duties is to kind of incorporate some more community events into the facility. We're basically known for a lot of our sporting events and high performance sporting events. So we want to incorporate the community a little bit more and align with the ideals of the township. So one of my other events that I'll be working on as a second year is the Easter skate. So I worked on that during my internship here at the Langley Event Center, and we'll be continuing that this spring again, as well as the public skating program. So every third Monday of the month we have some ice programs and public skates that will be attaching to a theme. So the one coming up in September will be the Wild Wild West public skate, so we'll have some different Western themed games and Western themed music. One of my other main duties is just to make sure all the organization for these events comes in together, so that means incorporating all my facility attendants, my operations teams, as well as the client to make sure the event is successful from point A to point B. So the highlights of my Recreation Leadership Diploma Program, there's lots of different highlights, but one of the top highlights was definitely my Outward Bound experience. It taught me a lot about myself and definitely taught me to squeeze the orange. So those of you who were in my program will definitely know what that meant, but it basically meant going outside your comfort zone and expanding outside what you know. So that taught me to actually expand outside the city of Surrey, which is where I was currently employed during the program, and I did my internship here at the Langley Event Center. So the Langley Event Center was a completely foreign territory to me, something I never ventured into before, but I thought it'd be quite an exciting opportunity, and it turns out it was. So I got to take part in various events, concerts, community events, different sporting events, ones that would take place in our turf here, and I just learned a lot about myself and ended up, as you could see earlier, getting my position here at the event center. One of my other highlights would have to have been just all the relationships that I made with my classmates. It was definitely, I came from a large university. I went to SFU for the first 3 years, wanting to become a teacher. Decided that wasn't really the route I wanted to take, and went to Langara and was in smaller class sizes and made some great relationships, and in turn learned a lot about myself and my passions, and it's kind of led me to the direction and where I've ended up here at the Event Center. So why the Recreation Leadership Diploma Program, you ask? That's a great question. I definitely didn't know it existed 3 years ago. Like I said, I started my schooling straight from high school, went to SFU on a scholarship, wanted to study education, went from studying biology, English, and French to just deciding that teaching was not the option for me. While I was going to school, I was working at the City of Surrey as a program instructor, as well as a summer day camp leader, and I kind of moved my way up through the ranks and became a programmer's assistant. And I loved it. It was great, and my supervisor just so happened to have done the program as well. So she told me about it, and I applied, and I was like, well, may as well take this shot and go with it and see where it goes. So I entered the program 2 years ago. I guess it was 2010 when I started the program. And it was completely different from anything I'd ever experienced. I went from a 400-person lecture hall down to a small 30-person size classroom with Vince Kreiser as most of my teachers for all my programs. Make sure you have your highlighters and your day books, people. And it was wonderful. It was a great experience. I learned a lot about myself. The best part is all the teachers and the professors and the students, they kind of push you towards what you're good at. But they also teach you about your weaknesses as well, and how you can grow from those weaknesses and become a stronger person and a stronger individual and a leader. The way the program's set out is great. You come in no one knowing each other. You head off to Outward Bound and live in the bush for 5 days and conquer your fear of heights and whatever else you have fears of, and you come out of there a different person, different relationships, and your true leadership aspects arrive or come about during that trip. From that point on, you're thrown into 2 years of a complete whirlwind experience. It goes by super, super fast. before you know it, you're crossing the stage, receiving your diploma. It's just a great opportunity. You spend, a year and a half going through all the different course material, and one of my biggest fears or regrets or the things I didn't like about SFU was that I was constantly reading a textbook, and the question I was always asking myself, how is this applicable to what I actually want to do with my life? Where I actually want to go? So for the first year and a half, there were some courses that we took, and they were applicable, but you didn't realize how applicable they were until you went into your internship. And some people say they had a great experience in their internship. Some people will say it wasn't a great opportunity for them. But for me, it was definitely the most positive experience of my Recreation Leadership Diploma career. It was a great 14 weeks. I stepped outside my comfort zone. I remember the day before I went to the Langley Event Center, I kind of regretted my choice of going there. Kind of thought maybe I should have stuck with the city of Surrey, stuck with what I know, but that definitely wasn't what I learned during the 2 years of my internship, or my diploma program at Langara. So I started my internship, and 14 weeks later I had a full-time position as the event coordinator. And that wasn't my only goal going into the program, was obviously to get a job. It was a career program. But I learned a lot about myself. I have a lot of new relationships, a lot of new friends because of it. And now I just have a new passion and something new that I can strive for, and something I look forward to coming to every day, because it's just a never-changing, it's always changing, never static, dynamic program and experience.